Prison Epistles S21. Join us as we share the stories of a heroic dog saving its owner's life from a wolf. A fire was along the river, causing several households to evacuate to a safer location. The law enforcement has raided an area where witnesses say a sheep fight was taking place. Coming up, we have the weather report with Brother England. But for now, join us as we take an up-close look at two men, one named Paul and one named Satan. We will let them share their own stories, but these men have changed lives, one for the better and one for the worse. Let's take an up-close look. Good morning, America. I'm here interviewing Paul, and I'm supposed to be interviewing Satan too.
Sorry, guys. Tempting people is hard labor.
All right, do you mind, Paul, telling us some of your background information?
Absolutely. So my name is Paul of Tarsus. I was born and raised in Tarsus, and I received a really good education in Jerusalem. And after my education, I was committed to persecuting Christians. But this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before.
Paul, do you mind telling the people what led to your conversion?
Absolutely. It was the most defining moment of my entire life. I was traveling on the road to Damascus when all of a sudden a blazing light came about me, and it caused me to be so in fear and blinded by this light. And all of a sudden a voice came out of nowhere saying, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" I was in utter fear. And I said, "Who is it that's speaking to me?" And he said, "It is Jesus Christ whom thou persecutest." I was in utter fear. 3 days later, I was taken into Damascus and met a man named Ananias. And Ananias was sent from God to help me restore my sight. And then I realized that Jesus was the one true God, and he was worth serving my entire life.
Oh, thank you. So Satan, what about you?
Well, my name is Satan, or they call me the old serpent, the dragon, the father of lies, I've been roaming around Asia Minor for a long time, just seeking whom I may devour, because, these churches are growing, and I'm not very happy about that.
Satan, tell us how you plan to ruin Paul's ministry.
Well, first of all, I want to keep Paul in prison. If he stays in there, there's no way these churches are going to grow. Secondly, I want to take the joy away from the brethren. Thirdly, I want to separate them. If they're not united, they can't do nothing. Fourth, or lastly, actually, I want to implant false doctrine. If they believe in the wrong Jesus, there's no way anybody's getting saved.
Mm-hmm. So how do you hope to accomplish all that?
Well, I'm going to use the Roman people. The Roman people are going to help me. They're going to keep them in prison. The Jews are going to fight for me to keep them in there. It's going to be easy. Hands down, there's nothing you can really do about that. Take away their joy is going to be easy. I'm going to indoctrinate them with merit work salvation. Judaizers are going to come in, and they're going to just tell them, hey, you guys got to follow the law. And following the law, there's no joy in that. Thirdly, I'm going to cause division among the brethren. I'm going to make them strive over the dumbest things. And there's going to be fighting, and it's going to be great. People are going to be fighting over who's going to go to whose house, who's going to get to go feed the pastor, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm going to separate them all. And lastly, I'm going to plant false brethren inside the churches so they can spread false doctrine all around them. They're going to say Jesus is a man. They're going to say Jesus wasn't really God. All these, just watch. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great plan. There's no way to stop it by that.
So Paul, how do you expect to defend the truth and make any accomplishments while in prison?
Well, Satan, I'm sorry to rain on your party, but while your fan is trying to take out the spark of Christ and Christians, it's actually just spreading the flame of Christianity. There's churches starting more and more. Under persecution, Christianity thrives and spreads. While I'm in prison, I'm praying that my witness allows me to have an open opportunity to witness to the guards. Literally, I'm chained to him 24/7. The prisoners, they hear me singing praises to God. In a way, that prison is prisoners to me and my witness for God. And it's not like I'm not keeping in contact with the churches. I'm still writing the church of Philippi and Colossae and Ephesus and Galatia. I'm still telling them the instruction. I'm still telling them how to spread the gospel and what false doctrines to watch out for. I'm telling them to beware of dogs like you try to plant in the church. You can't win, Satan. The truth will prevail.
So Satan, tell us your reaction in response to what Paul just said.
My reaction? You want to know my reaction?
So Paul, then what's your reaction in response to what Satan just did?
Well, first of all, I want to say it's very unprofessional. The second thing I want to say is Satan should be used to expecting victory and getting defeat. I take you back to Joseph of the Old Testament, how Satan meant it for evil to throw him into prison and to have his brothers enslave him, but God meant it unto good. I also think of Jonah in the belly of the whale, how he was in there for 3 days, but on that third day, the whale threw him out and he was able to send revival to Nineveh. And I think most importantly of Jesus Christ, how 3 days in the grave, Satan thought that he had the victory. But on that third day, Jesus Christ rose again from the dead. And we, as Christians, are on the winning side. Satan is going on this rant right now trying to spread false doctrine. But it is only for a season, because I know that God will prevail.
Thank you for that interview, Paul. Is there anything else you have to share to the people?
No, my lunchtime for prison is over. I got to go back to the cell and start singing some more and witnessing.
All right, well, you heard it here first, folks. That's the true story. You had both parties involved, and you saw the truth.